My name is David Morrison. I am the Vol Society analyst right here on the Vol Society Network. And of course, you can follow us all across our social media platforms. And before I tell us about where you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, 4 days ago on our YouTube channel, I'm going to start off with our YouTube channel. You can follow us on youtube.com/Vol Society. We put a plea out to you where we said we want to get to 100 subscribers, and we asked, we just need 4 more, and lo and behold, we end up getting over 289 subscribers. Thank you very much for everybody subscribing to our YouTube channel, and we are making our debut tonight on Twitter at Society Vols. So hello to everyone all across our social media platforms. Follow us on Facebook as always, facebook.com/UT Society. So like I said, just a crazy week all across our social media platforms, through Facebook, YouTube, and now we are making our Twitter debut, even though we've had a Twitter page for a little while now. Just been a very, very humbling experience to see all that taking place all across our social media platforms. It's been very nice, and thank you for everything. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to recap the baseball weekend with the Kentucky Wildcats. Tennessee takes their first series loss of the year. We'll dive into that. We will preview the Georgia game, the Georgia weekend series coming up, starting tomorrow night at Lindsey Nelson Stadium for a Thursday night game against Georgia at 7 o'clock on ESPNU. Friday night, 5:30 on the SEC Network, and then Saturday at 1 o'clock on the SEC Network Plus app. And Vol Society will be at that Georgia game on Saturday. More on that a little bit later. Tennessee softball team, currently in Gainesville, Florida right now. And hello to our little Gator friend. I saw your comment on our YouTube page. Tennessee softball team, the number 3 seed, they're getting ready to face Mississippi State tomorrow at noon. We'll talk about where the Lady Vols softball team stacks up, and some players to watch out for on the Lady Vols who could break out for. And then I'm going to give you my 5 bold predictions for the 2022 Tennessee football season. Like I said, I'm going to kind of start from the most likely to happen all the way to this could happen this season. And hello to our founder, Brad, is in the chat room tonight. Like I said, got quite a few things to talk about, including a couple of possible transfer updates along the way. All right, so let's dive into the baseball weekend in Lexington. Tennessee baseball team played Kentucky and ended up dropping the series 2 games to 1 in that one. Tennessee lost 3-2 on Thursday in 13 innings. Tennessee jumped out to a 2-0 lead. But then Kentucky came firing back in the 4th inning, tied it up at 2 apiece, and then it was just a back and forth game all the way around until the bottom of the 13th inning when Kentucky walked us off late in the Kentucky night, and Tennessee ends up dropping that first game 3-2 in 13 innings. Friday's game, the first time ever Tennessee broke out the dark mode baseball jerseys on Friday. Pretty cool uniforms, I'll say that from first glance. I probably like the football uniforms, dark mode football uniforms, a little bit better than the baseball, but yeah, it's all cool. I love the hats though, bringing back the old UT lock logo. For Texas fans, love that. But anyways, getting to the game on Friday, Tennessee ends up losing that one 5-2. Matter of fact, the game ended up being made up the next day on Saturday due to a weather delay. Tennessee was down 4-2 when the weather delay happened, and then ended up falling to Kentucky the next day, 5-2 in that one. And then on Saturday, Tennessee, or later on that Saturday, Tennessee ended up winning the rubber match the weekend, 7-2. They only played 7 innings due to the doubleheader. Jordan Beck with a 3-run homer in that game. Portland lost it, had a home run also, and Redmond Walsh picks up the win in the second game of that doubleheader on Saturday. Like I said, this was kind of a shocking weekend to see Tennessee just struggle like that. Obviously, you had a competitive game on Thursday, but then you really took one on the chin on Friday, and we hadn't saw that all year. Really, just taking one in the chin and just kind of a funky weekend overall, especially playing Friday. You had the weather delay, and then you had to turn around and play, the next day, that afternoon, and then you had to turn around and play a second game. But thankfully, we got the win out of that in the second game of the doubleheader. But just a very off weekend for Tennessee. Nothing really was clicking like we have been seeing. Just kind of weird. So we'll see how they do the rest of the weekend. Tennessee did get a win over Bellarmine, 11-5 last night. They did trail in that game early in the top of the first inning, 1-0. But then Tennessee just took over in the bottom of the first and never relinquished the lead. Drew Gilbert, Trey Lipscomb, and Burke all went yards for Big Orange. And then Mr. Mustache, Kirby Connell, ended up picking up the win in that one. So now Tennessee shifts their focus to the final weekend homestanding of the regular season when the Georgia Bulldogs come into town for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday affair. I mentioned already Tennessee will play Georgia Thursday night on the on ESPNU at 7:00, and then Friday afternoon at 5:30. So an early start for the Big Orange compared to normal. Like I said, that game will be on the SEC Network. Dave Neal and will be on the call for that one. And then Saturday, Ball Society Live will be in Knoxville for the rubber match between Tennessee and Georgia. Our first outing and our only outing right now of going to a Tennessee baseball game. So looking forward to being at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. We will bring you exclusive content on our Facebook page and see if we can try to translate it to other social media accounts. So looking forward to going up to Knoxville on Saturday to catch a little baseball. The weather is supposed to be nice, even though there's a little chance of some showers to pop up. Hopefully it stays away from us and we can get that game in. The rest of the Tennessee baseball schedule, the final home game will be next Wednesday night as we take on Belmont, and then the final weekend series will be against Mississippi State. So it should be a pretty tough task also, even though Mississippi State has kind of struggled a little bit this year. But like I said, hopefully get a nice road series win like we had for the most part this year. And then the SEC tournament will take place in Hoover, Alabama once again. That will take place May 24th to the 29th. And obviously Tennessee, with Georgia losing over the weekend, is now back-to-back SEC Eastern Division champions. So congratulations to Tony Vitello and the Vols for accomplishing that feat. So that's kind of a look at baseball going on. Now we go over to baseball to softball, as the Lady Vols are in Gainesville, Florida right now for the SEC softball tournament down at the campus of the University of Florida. It got underway. They had one game on Monday night, I believe, and then there's been some games on Tuesday and obviously today. Actually, I believe they got started Tuesday. I'll take that back. But anyway, the Lady Vols are a number 3 seed right now, or finished the regular season as a number 3 seed with a 38-15 record, 15-8 in SEC play. They end up cracking in the top 10 in the latest softball poll. They are on a 3-game winning streak, and they will be playing Mississippi State coming up tomorrow, and that will be on the SEC Network, and we will put a reminder of that game on our Facebook page so you can watch along if you can. And then if Tennessee ends up winning that game, they will face either Missouri Tigers, who just defeated Auburn probably over an hour ago in the SEC tournament, or Alabama. And Alabama is the number 2 seed. And of course, last year during the SEC softball tournament, that's when Montana Faust really broke onto the scene and just proved her dominance in softball last year. And she had a decent year so far. Probably not what she did last year, but we'll see. If history repeat himself, hopefully not. Hopefully the Lady Vols can advance on. Other teams to watch out for: Arkansas is the number 1 seed in softball with a 41-9 record on the year. And Kentucky is the number 2 seed. So some key players for the Lady Vols. Starts with Kiki Malloy. Kiki Malloy has just been a fantastic player this year for the Lady Vols softball team. Hitting .349 on the year, which leads the team. She also leads the team in hits, 61, 14 home runs. She's also tied with Amanda Ayala with 12 doubles. Like I said, and she's at the top of the batting lineup. Like I said, it all starts with her as far as how far this Lady Vols team can go. Donnie Cooney, she has 14 home runs on the year, 50 RBIs. Ivy Davis with 13 home runs. So there's some power in this lineup on this Lady Vols team. And like I said, they're coming in right now hot with a 3-game winning streak, number 10 nationally, and let's see if they get that momentum going. Like I said, SEC softball is a tough task. Unfortunately, the Lady Vols have kind of struggled in recent years when it comes to the SEC softball tournament. So we'll see if they turn their fate around this year. And the 2 pitchers, Aaron Emerson, transferred from Texas Tech last year, along with Kelsey Leach, who's one of our catchers. Emerson on the year is 19-6 with a 2.46 ERA, over 156 innings pitched, 143 strikeouts compared to 51 walks. And then the hometown girl in my hometown of Athens, Ashley Rogers, 2.54 ERA, 105 strikeouts, 26 walks on the year. So we'll be seeing a lot of Edmondson and Rogers throughout this SEC softball tournament. So good luck to the Lady Vols this weekend down in Gainesville. All right, go ahead and do some football bold predictions. So we're kind of getting to that time now where a lot of people are going to overthink how their favorite college football team is going to do, and maybe reaching out and saying, "Well, this is going to happen. I guarantee it." And mark my words. So I guess I'll be kind of marking my words to a certain degree. And maybe 1 or 2 of these I'm still kind of hesitant on, but I'm going to kind of go ahead and say. So I'm going to go with my least bold prediction, and then I'll go to probably the greatest one. So I have 5 of them right here listed. Probably my least bold prediction for the year, and I think this is going to happen either way. I have Brew McCoy, Andre Turrentine, and Gerald Mincy will be day 1 starters. You look at all 3 of these positions, and all 3 of these players came from the transfer portal. McCoy from USC, Turrentine from Ohio State, Mincy from Florida. You look at all 3 of these positions that they're at. Brew McCoy, obviously Cedric Tillman is the number 1 wide receiver. You also still got Jalen Hyde, who's, I guess, kind of de facto number 2, although I believe McCoy may give him a run for his money. Although we'll probably see all 3 of them start at the same time, how they're going to line up. But after Tillman and maybe Hyde, you really don't know what the wide receiver position is going to look like. So that's why Tennessee was really went after Brew McCoy, because they think he could really fit this offense. And we've seen in the past Josh Heupel last year really embrace the transfer portal. We saw Josh Heupel, like I said, start Javante Payton, who transferred from Mississippi State. Jawan Mitchell, who started, who transferred from Texas, started the first game and then ended up getting injured. And then Caleb Trimley, he really wasn't a starter for the most part, but he played a lot of snaps. Another USC guy, and of course, if you want to throw Bayless Coach Jr., you're talking about a couple years by that point. So Josh Heupel's not afraid to use these transfer guys. And I believe wide receiver is a key position, and we really need to get depth after Cedric Tillman because you got a lot of young freshmen coming in, a lot of exciting freshmen like Cam Miller, Squirrel White to come to mind. But having Brew McCoy in there, and he's just technically a true freshman or a true sophomore, depends on how you look at the extra year. I think he can be an impact player right out of the gate. Andre Turrentine, defensive back. To me, this is kind of the biggest question mark on the team. And we talked about the DBs have been banged up throughout spring practice. Matter of fact, a lot of them didn't even see the field. We didn't see them on the white game, so what we heard. But not having Alontae Taylor anymore. You got Warren Burrell on the other side, who was okay at times. Where I really think Turrentine can get one of the positions. It looks like I've read that Brandon Turnage is going to move to that star position. So he'll be in the backfield with like Trevion Flowers and Jalen McCullough. So that's going to leave that hole open. I think Turrentine, a Tennessee native, played high school football in the Nashville area. I think he's going to possibly start on the other corner, the side, Warren Burrell. And Gerald Mincy. Now, offensive line is probably now becoming one of our strengths of our team. Obviously, Darnell Wright. I'm going to mention Darnell Wright in another bowl prediction in a moment. But it starts with him. You got Tate Mays' brother, Cooper Mays, on that offensive line. Then after that's kind of some question marks. I think Mincy can be a day one starter if he has a great fall camp. He had a pretty decent spring practice. Like I said, just trying to make the adjustment from going from Florida to Tennessee and learning the playbook. But like I said, I think Josh Heupel can have some trust in him, and I believe all three of these guys can be day one starters. All right, my number 4 bowl prediction: Tennessee will have 3 NFL first round draft picks in the 2023 class. Now we gotta have to wait till April to see if that's true, but you look at where this this talented roster has been in the last year. Last year there was a lot of question marks all over the field. Players transferring out, transfer for the first big year we had it, and then we were just trying to put the glue together and exceed our expectations. With Hendon Hooker, coming into the fold after basically taking over the job from Joe Milton. We saw, the wide receiver step up, Cedric Tillman, even Javante Payton for a little bit. The running backs was really good with Jalen Wright, and it just continued on. And even on the defensive side, we saw the emergence of Malcolm Butler and Theo Jackson. And like I said, Tennessee in the NFL draft just a couple weeks ago had 5 picks. And Alontae Taylor went in the second round, and we also saw Matthew Butler, Kate Mays, Steve Jackson, Bayless Jones Jr. So Tennessee had 5 draft picks, more than Florida, more than Auburn, and half the other dozen teams in the SEC. I think Tennessee can have 3 first-round draft picks. I think Darnell Wright, a Tennessee offensive lineman, has been there for a while. He's seen everything, and he's a really good offensive lineman. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. And like I said, he's got NFL size, and I think he could fit on any NFL offensive line. Cedric Tillman, we talked about him, and I'm going to have another bold prediction with Cedric Tillman in just a moment. He's got first-round talent all the way around. Just he can catch anything out of the air. And then Byron Young. I think Byron Young could be a potential first-round draft pick. We saw in the NFL draft a lot of defensive edge players got picked up. I think Byron Young can fit right there. Even though he's only 6'3", 225, he can play both the edge and linebacker. And like I said, Ronnie Gardner and this entire Tennessee staff has done a great job in developing him into one of the best players. And like I said, he's got a great story from becoming a assistant manager at a Dollar General to playing SEC football at the highest level. And I'm sure if he gets a high draft pick, they're probably going to run that story too from Dollar General to the NFL. So, and I hadn't mentioned Hendon Hooker yet, and that's no disrespect to Hendon Hooker or any other Tennessee players. They could be a first round draft pick. It just depends on how it all shapes up. That's just the three coming to my mind. Tennessee's going to have a great draft next year, and like I said, Josh Heupel knows how to evaluate talent. He knows how to get them in the right direction. Especially in year one, we saw 5 players drafted. I think exceed even more next year. So that's my number 4 bowl prediction. Number 3, freshman Justin William Thomas will lead the team in rushing. So Justin William Thomas, if you remember back in the recruiting 2022 video I did, he was originally going to commit to West Virginia, but then he backed out at West Virginia and opened his enrollment again at Tennessee, scooped him right up. You look at where the running backs were last year. Obviously, having Tyjon Evans, he led the team in rushing until the last few weeks when he did transfer portal himself. And then you also looked at guys like Jalen Wright, an emerging freshman, come on, and Jabari Small, who did a good job. But a lot of these guys got banged up and got injured, and we were kind of scraping for any running game towards that last couple of weeks of the season, especially in the Music City Bowl. I'm not saying that Jabari Small or Jalen Wright is going to have a terrible year. I hope not. But there's still some question marks of where is this running back core going to go? And I can see somebody like Justin William Thomas who can come in right away and be like, I know I'm better than these 2 running backs. And I know that I have the workforce, the hunger to go out there and to win this job and lead the team in rushing. And I can totally see that happen. And I don't expect him to have 1,000-yard rushing, but I can see him come in as a true freshman and make an immediate impact, kind of similar to what we saw with Tyjon Evans last year. So I think Justin Williams Thomas could lead the team in rushing next year. So that's my number 3 bowl prediction. Justin Williams Thomas will lead the team in rushing. Number 2, Cedric Tillman will finish first All-SEC team and will be an Oblitnikoff Award finalist. This could happen. Now, there's going to be some great wide receivers next year in college football. Ohio State's going to have a couple like they did last year. Alabama's going to be loaded. Georgia. But I think, and we don't know where Jordan Addison's going to be going. He's probably going to go to USC, who was last year's Oblitnikoff Award winner from Pittsburgh. I think Cedric Tillman is right there in that discussion. You look at Tennessee's up-tempo offense. Hendon Hooker is going to put up this number. Cedric Tillman broke out as a major star last year, and I think he's expected to have another big year. And I think he has potential to be first All-SEC first team, maybe flirting All-American, maybe depends on how the rest of the wide receiver crew, wide receiving pool in college football looks next year. And then the Oblitnikoff. It wouldn't shock me if he becomes a Oblitnikoff finalist, especially if he can lead the SEC in receiving yardage, up-tempo offense, playing some tough competition. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if he would be a Oblitnikoff finalist. I would love for him to win it. But I think this could possibly happen. And then my number 1 bold prediction for the 2022 Tennessee football team. And this one I'm still hesitant if I really want to say it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Tennessee will be undefeated going into the Alabama game. And College Game Day? Question mark. So you look at Tennessee's schedule. Open the season with Ball State should be an easy. You go to Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. It's going to be, as far as like college football teams that play in NFL stadiums, Pitt probably has the best home field advantage of them. Miami at the Orange Bowl or Dolphin Stadium, whatever it's called, Hard Rock Stadium, it's not really an intimidating atmosphere. Hell, my grandparents watch. Pitt actually has a pretty decent home field advantage for playing in NFL Stadium. But like I said, Tennessee should go up there and take care of business, in my opinion. No more Kenny Pickett. He's now in the other locker room at Heinz Field, the black and gold locker room of the Steelers. And then Jordan Addison, the last year's Litnikoff Award winner, looks like he's going to be heading to Los Angeles to play with USC or who knows where he's going to go. But I think Tennessee can take care of the business at Pitt. Didn't get Akron, should be an easy win. The Florida game, we've mentioned this several times on Ball Society Live. Tennessee has to beat Florida this year, especially with Billy Napier in there, new staff, new scheme, new atmosphere. You can't let Florida go into England Stadium and pick up a win, especially the first year head coach, especially since Tennessee should be a favorite to win. Obviously, I think they will win that. And then you get a bye week, and that's huge. And I mentioned this before. Tennessee gets that bye week right after Florida. So if we do pull the win out, that gives us an extra week to kind of celebrate and refocus our attention to LSU. That's our first it's our first true road game, but our first SEC road game down at probably the toughest place to win a college football game at Tiger Stadium, Death Valley, LSU. And like I said, I'm still hesitant on this bowl prediction. But I think Tennessee could go into Baton Rouge and possibly get a win. Like I said, we're still trying to figure out what LSU is going to look like next year. I think Brian Kelly's a great coach. He did remarkable things at Notre Dame. We still don't know who the quarterback is, if it's going to be Max Johnson or Jaden Daniels. It's still kind of up in the air, so I can see a better Tennessee team go down there and possibly beat an LSU and then go undefeated going into the Alabama game. Brad says 9-win, folks, and we're definitely beating Florida. So that's what he's saying. And like I said, throwing in college game day. Now, I hadn't looked at the week when Tennessee plays Alabama, so I don't know what other games are intact. But you have to think if Tennessee is undefeated, 5-0, going into coming back home, and you're going to most likely take on an undefeated Alabama team coming to Neyland Stadium, that has to be a college game day game. I mean, you look at where Tennessee football is, the atmosphere that we bring to Neyland Stadium. It's going to be a different Neyland Stadium next year, but still going to be a raucous crowd. Possibly both teams will be in the top 10. I just don't see where college game day can pass that up. And of course, ESPN loves the SEC. I'm just pointing it out there. So that's my number one bowl prediction. Is Tennessee will go undefeated into the Alabama game. And Brad said he thinks so as far as game day possibly coming to Knoxville. I've heard, like I said, I kind of have to go back and see who may interfere in that. I don't know if there's a Big Ten game that may potentially counter that, but we'll see. Like I said, these are just bowl predictions. So, what are your bowl predictions? And I think we're going to post this on our Facebook page. What are your bowl predictions for the year? It can be crazy. You can say Tennessee goes undefeated, win the national championship. You can say Tennessee, may not win a game. Who knows? Like I said, we're going to definitely open that up in the comment section on our Facebook page. Make sure you follow us on Facebook.com/USBallSociety. But that's my 5 bowl predictions. Kind of recap them really quick. I have Cedric Tillman will finish first All-SEC team and will be an Blitnikoff Award finalist. I have Tennessee will go undefeated into the Alabama game with a possible college game day appearance. I have freshman Justin William Thomas will lead the team in rushing over Jabari Small and Jalen Wright. Tennessee will have 3 first-round draft picks in the 2023 class. Like I said, we're going to have to wait next spring to find out if that's true. And then I think Drew McCoy, Audrey Turrentine, and Gerald Misty will be opening day starters who will take on All State. So, like I said, we'll see how my bowl predictions look. I may get one of these right. I hope it'd be a miracle if I get one of these right. I could possibly not get any of these right. Charlie, welcome into the show. He says, Citrus Bowl, 9-3, and gets 10 wins with a bowl win. Good signature shirt. Yeah, uh, that would be great too. I mean, I know that was kind of the running joke in the '90s of Tennessee always going to the Citrus Bowl, but where we've been before to now, I would definitely take the Citrus Bowl in a heartbeat. I can see us definitely heading to Orlando down there. Definitely a Florida Bowl looks on the horizon for me. Uh, New Year's Six Bowl. There's going to have to be a lot of stuff that's going to have to fall into place before that could happen. That may be like bowl prediction number six right there, but definitely something looking forward to seeing. But yeah, I'm very excited to like I said, get ready for college football season coming, especially with Tennessee. And we'll go ahead and make this announcement. This is kind of official. This football season, we're going to expand our Ball Society coverage. We'll continue to do Ball Society live each and every week, even through the football season. But we are going to launch the Ball Society podcast. We've seen the numbers on our social media page really grow, and we want to expand the Ball Society network. So the Ball Society podcast will be coming to you this probably late summer, early fall, getting ready for football. I'll be a part of it. Brad Frank, our founder, will be a part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be kind of a little bit of a different viewpoint. Like I said, our show is just more informational. This is going to be informational, but we're also going to throw our sense of humor into it. It's going to be good, clean sense of humor, fun. Like I said, it's just kind of like we're all outside in the backyard or at a Tennessee football game tailgating. David East is going to be a part of that too. Thank you, Brad. It's just we're just going to enjoy talking about Tennessee football, Tennessee athletics, and it should be a lot of fun. Brad says fun, funny football talk. Absolutely. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun. That is coming this later on in the year. Yeah, Brad says like sitting around drinking coffee and having fun. So the Ball Society podcast is on the way. Also, a couple little news and notes I read today. UCF wide receiver Jalen Robinson, aka Flash Robinson, he's narrowed down his transfer commits to either Ole Miss, Tennessee, or now Miami. He was going to make the announcement next Wednesday, but now he's going to make that announcement on the 15th. He just made a visit to Ole Miss and made a video with Lane Kiffin and a Rolls Royce, so that's what it is. Miami's kind of been a late emergence. Seems like they've got a really heavy NIL deal. Tennessee's still in the play for Jalen Robinson, who played with Josh Heupel down at UCF. And then tomorrow, Tennessee, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, Tennessee could have a basketball recruitment coming tomorrow in Dawes All-American. I caught that like right before it went on the air. He's going to make an announcement where he's going to go. All the recruiting news, notes, and infos just on our Facebook page, Twitter, elsewhere. As like I said, we bring you the latest in recruiting news. And Brad says, "Where's Johnny Billings?" I don't know where Mr. Billings is. Hopefully he's around. Like I said, once again, I know we're getting some late viewers in, and thank you for tuning in tonight. Like I said, we're not going anywhere right now, but just kind of tell you our social media numbers. Like I said, we mentioned at the top of the show, we asked for 100 YouTube subscribers, and you blew it out of the water. 289 subscribers on YouTube, and if you're watching this live, go ahead and add on to that number. Like the video, share it out, get the word of Ball Society going. 7,500 Facebook followers. And we like to increase that Twitter number too up there. Yeah, and Brad says, "How about Facebook? 7,500 followers." That number jumped up like 2,000 in the last week. So thank you very much. Like I said, here's our social media pages: Facebook. I put the YouTube page on here and our Twitter handle. So I said, just give us a follow. We're taking over social media right here on the Ball Society Network. Like I said, just totally grateful and humbled for that. Okay, thanks, Uh, like I said, just like I said, share it along with everyone. And like I said, Ball Society is going to be doing a lot of stuff coming up the rest of the year. Like I said, we're going to be live this Saturday. Well, I will be live at the Tennessee Georgia baseball game, the final SEC home game of the year. I will be live in person for that, and I'll bring you some videos and content. Brad says 10,000 followers about football season. Absolutely. We may have to do a giveaway with that, Brad. We'll have to come up with something like we did during March Madness. Get 10,000. Like I said, we need to definitely get back to our Ball Society crew here and our followers. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Like I said, we're gonna be at the Brad says he likes it. Like I said, we're gonna be at the baseball game on Saturday, and then we're going to try to do some other fun stuff throughout the year, especially going into football season. We're going to bring more content, not only Tennessee football, but even some high school football. Like, so we're going to still kind of work out the kinks with that. Tell you who is maybe on Tennessee's radar and where you might go see some future balls in your area. It should be a lot of fun. Still kind of working out all of that. Yeah, we would love to have a sponsor event or cause someday as well. Absolutely, to really branch out our brand. So if you know any sponsors that would love to sponsor Ball Society Live or some event, I definitely hook this up. And uh, like also, if even you Ball Society fans, we mentioned last week, one of our Ball Society members, Art, went to the Big Orange Caravan in Memphis, did the meet and greet, and gave us some pictures. And same thing, if you go out and see a VFL or go to a ball sponsored event, or maybe if you're going to Lindsey Nelson Stadium this weekend, want to show us some tailgating pictures or you in the stands and just tag us at Ball Society on our Facebook page, and saying, just showing that hey, Ball Nation is strong everywhere. Like I said, just don't have to just be me, it can be a lot of y'all. Like I said, we're all a part of this in the long run. Like I said, next week I will be in Daytona Beach, Florida. So unfortunately, I will not have a Ball Society live podcast. I can't take all this podcast equipment to TSA. They won't allow me. So I'm going to enjoy a little rest and relaxation. But we'll be back a week from tonight for another episode of Ball Society Live, and we're going to kind of start sort of a. Brad says we might be giving away merch this football season. Yeah, definitely so. So in 2 weeks, or not next week, but 2 weeks, we are going to go behind enemy lines. And what I mean go behind enemy lines is we're going to really break down our opponents for next year. Now it's not going to be an official Tennessee football preview, but we're going to talk about some of our opponents that we're going to face throughout the year. So in 2 weeks, we're going to cover the non-conference games like Ball State, Akron, UT Martin, and Pittsburgh. So we're going to cover 4 of those opponents because 3 of those opponents I don't think we really need to expand too much out of, but I'll just talk about who to kind of look out for. Pitt will probably be more in depth. And then each and every week, kind of leading up into the football season, we will talk about some of the bigger games and players to watch out for. And then obviously, when it gets going, we'll know a lot more about it. Just kind of like going behind enemy lines, as I like to call it, previewing our opponents. And then we're, I think, also in a couple of weeks, we're going to be starting on our Facebook page the Jersey Countdown to Kickoff. So once we get to under 100 days until it's football time in Tennessee, we're going to post a picture of a VFL in the jersey counting us down until it is indeed football time in Tennessee. So from 99 to 1, there's going to be a lot of nostalgia and remembrance, and just like I said, I know University of Tennessee used to do it on their social media pages a decade ago, and they kind of did away with it. I've always enjoyed it, and like I said, just get us excited about for the football season. So once we get under 100 days, should be a lot of fun. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah. yeah, so like I said, that's gonna wrap it up. Like I said, no show next week. I will be on vacation, but we'll be back a week from tonight. Uh, like I said, going behind enemy lines as we preview some of Tennessee's 2022 football opponents. We will also recap. Well, I guess it will be the Mississippi State series, and I'll talk about my experience up in Georgia that Saturday, and then we'll be getting ready for the SEC baseball tournament down in Hoover, Alabama. Should be a lot of fun, a lot of good things coming along. Thank you for supporting Vol Society on our social media pages. It's just been a fantastic week. Just watching the numbers grow every day. You know, like I said, we were just wanted to get to 100, and you really went out and just blew that number up. Facebook has done very well, and get Twitter up there, and it's just been very nice to see. So continue to support us. Our social media pages at the bottom. Brad says we'll prove be in Hoover. Probably, I hope not. Maybe they're filming season 3 of that show that they did on MTV about Hoover High School. Coach that had the extra medal. Anyway, I'm getting too. This ain't MTV. I'm talking about old MTV show. I'm talking about Ball Society Live. Like I said, we'll be back in 2 weeks as we will talk about, I guess, the Mississippi State series, recapping that, Georgia, Belmont, and preview the SEC tournament. And then we go behind enemy lines as we preview some of our football opponents for next year. Until next week, this has been David Morrison from Ball Society Live. Have a great night and go Vols.